As the cold weather settles in, it often leaves homeless shelters filled to capacity and unable to meet the growing need for food and shelter. I'm Joy Beatty. Join us as we talk with the Salvation Army about their Night Watch program and how it's helped make the cold weather winter nights bearable for the homeless and near homeless in the city of Omaha.
And I'm Melissa Ring. Omaha Public Schools are looking to adjust their curriculum to be more race and gender friendly. We spoke with a local author, film director, and academic professional to discuss the changes. These stories and more right here on the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
This week's polar plunge was anticipated, but it was still brutal, and that was especially true for those who don't have a home. Each winter, the Salvation Army offers thousands of hot meals to people who need them from the Night Watch trucks. Reporter Thomas Clark got a look inside the truck and the program.
At the Salvation Army, preparations have begun for the Night Watch trucks to begin their food runs on December 1st.
The biggest thing is the fact that how grateful these folks are in having a warm meal.
The Night Watch trucks provide a warm meal to anybody who needs it, and John Kuzma of the Salvation Army prepares the trucks and its meals.
We do a catered food. It's a sort of a casserole type. We put it in a clamshell. They range anywhere from mac and cheese to ham and bean to, we'll do hamburgers and hot dogs some night. It's a variety.
But a hot meal is not all you can expect from the Night Watch trucks.
We have coats, gloves, hats, mittens, scarves, and socks.
The people who drive the Night Watch trucks and serve its food are all volunteers.
And so our responsibilities are essentially to load the vehicle, get the vehicle to the location, instruct the serving crew, because sometimes they're new.
10-year volunteer for Night Watch, Rhett Zeppelin, prefers driving the truck on these cold nights.
Well, this you actually get to go out and do something action-wise and see the benefits of it, and a lot more rewarding that way.
With less than a month until the Night Watch truck starts to make its runs, the Salvation Army is looking for all the donations it can get. For the Omaha News, this has been Thomas Clark.
The Salvation Army is still looking for hats, coats, gloves, scarves, and non-perishable foods. If you would like to volunteer this season, call 402-898-5942. Omaha police spent part of the day trying to learn the identity of a young girl found near 23rd and Polk. The 3-year-old Hispanic girl was wearing a pink and blue jacket and Hello Kitty hat. Police received information this afternoon that led to her identification. They say the girl and her siblings have now been placed in protective custody by Child Victim Sexual Assault Unit while the investigation for the child neglect continues. Nebraska Health and Human Services Child Protection Division is also involved in the investigation.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, or did he? That's why Minnesota Humanities hired one man to help change the Omaha public school curriculum.
So she took offense to the phrase black of his hand, right?
You wanted to know what that meant.
Minnesota Humanities hired Omawale Akintunde to work with OPS teachers to reconstruct the curriculum so it's more race and gender friendly. They believe making changes to this curriculum will benefit not only students, but the teachers.
Outside of the classroom, you're noticing things that affect your own epistemology and your view of the world. And then you start to realize that even your own view of your classroom and what education should be and what's in that history book or what's in that math book or what's in that curriculum is written from someone else's epistemology.
Omawale meets with teachers from different sections of Omaha schools to discuss changes and different problems teachers are facing in the classroom. Though Omawale is honored to be a part of the OPS curriculum change, he says the process hasn't been easy.
Sometimes teachers can be resistant to the idea that they are perpetuating curricular and social bias through a curriculum when they feel that personally they're absent of these particular characteristics.
Changes are still currently taking place, and teachers want to enforce that OPS schools have the ability to change for the better of their students.
No, it's not going to work in OPS. We don't have the collaboration. We don't have this. But we do.
Akintunde is continuing to work with teachers at OPS schools, holding monthly meetings. Omawale also works in the Department of Black Studies here at UNO and has special interests in education, race, and diversity. Coming up on the Omaha News, we speak with a teen whose disabilities have him fighting for his right to be a hardworking, tax-paying American.
Also coming up on the Omaha News, it's customary for a woman to take a 6-week leave after the delivery of a baby. But the tradition is not the same for fathers. We'll look at the benefits of fathers taking the time to bond with their children post-delivery.
PBS is the place you should go first.
There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the NewsHour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
You've always known you were a leader. Someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons. To learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city, or just explore our state, find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
You are watching the Omaha News.
More than 400,000 people in America have Down syndrome. An amendment to a tax bill could help those people better save money and provide for themselves. Omaha News reporter Elizabeth Ryan talked to a man and his mother who are fighting for the bill.
19-year-old Jake Geringer is like any other young adult. Last year, he was homecoming king. He likes to play video games, and he has a job.
I do special aid.
Jake's also working to pass the Achieving a Better Life Experience, or
ABLE Act.
ABLE Act is an amendment to the 529 Savings Tax Plan.
It will allow people with intellectual disabilities, people with disabilities in general, to save for their future, just like every other person is allowed to.
Under the current law, people with intellectual disabilities can't have more than $2,000 in their name, or else they become ineligible to Social Security benefits.
And as you know, $2,000 in this day and age is not a lot of money.
Sherry Harnish, president of the board at the Down Syndrome Alliance of the Midlands and mother of 4-year-old Macy, believes the ABLE Act will pass.
It has more than 85% of Congress supporting it, so we're not asking Congress to create a new program, we're not asking for a handout, we're just asking Congress to allow an opportunity to set up an account.
An account that will allow people like Jake to have more opportunities.
Okay, so this will allow him to have supports and services, be a hardworking, tax-paying American, and contribute to society like he's able to do, and live a happy, healthy, fulfilled life like the rest of us aim to do.
If you want to help spread awareness and get the ABLE Act passed, update your social media sites with the hashtag #PassTheAbleAct. For the Omaha News, I'm Elizabeth Ryan.
The ABLE Act is set to come forward in Congress this week. For more information, head to the website listed below. After receiving an overall score of 32 on his ACT test and a perfect score in reading comprehension, an Omaha boy received a full tuition scholarship to UNL. In a pep rally on Tuesday, University of Nebraska-Lincoln Chancellor Harvey Perlman offered 8th grader Joshua Gromowski a scholarship worth roughly $26,000. Gromowski said he greatly appreciates the offer and would like to pursue a career in math or the law.
Perhaps the most acceptable time to take an extended leave from the workplace would be after the birth of your child. But overall, paternity leave has been declining, which sets the pace for a less involved father.
Was that turtle? Oh, your turtle's better than mine. Yours has a shell.
Diaper changes and rocking the baby to sleep. It was all in a day's work for Glashad Robbins after his daughter, Adara Joy, was born last October.
Really, I guess what I did was everything.
The average individual has heard of maternity leave, but when asked about the leave specified for fathers after the birth or adoption of a child, many crinkle their faces in confusion and ask, they get that?
When I first heard about paternity leave, I was actually kind of excited because I didn't know that men were given the ability to leave work when they had children. And then I found out that I had 10 days. It wasn't as much as I thought, but I was thankful to have that so I could be around and help my wife. So I was excited.
Under the Family Medical Leave Act of 1993, companies with more than 50 employees are required to provide 12 weeks of unpaid leave to new parents. However, 20% of those companies that are supposed to comply with the law still do not provide paternity leave, according to the 2014 National Study of Employers.
As a 14-year veteran of the Air National Guard, Robbins was given 10 days of paid paternity leave. But licensed family therapist Jacqueline Cunningham says this is not enough time for a father to appropriately bond with his child.
There's so many different things I think that happens when the father isn't there and he doesn't have that opportunity. For one, there's a lot of inadequacy that he may feel on his part.
So for the new dads who want more time with their children, Cunningham says it's up to you.
Take the time out to actually fight for your time to be with your child and to bond with your child, because I know society doesn't always look at that role as being an important role, but really take the time out to fight for that, because you're making a huge impact in your child's life and your child needs you just as much as they need their mom.
For more information on your paternity leave rights and the National Study of Employers, visit www.familiesandwork.org. Coming up after the break, they continue to surprise with each passing week. What's next for the UNO hockey team? Reporter J.R. Cantor brings us the latest.
Also coming up on the Omaha News, there are a group of high school kids from around the state that have dominated basketball over the past decade. Who are they? We'll fill you in after the break.
KVNO was in a really interesting place. This Victorian mansion near UNO.
3 floors. The studios were on the 3rd floor.
Bedrooms and bathrooms. So we had a challenge, but we ultimately ended up with an on-air studio.
We soundproofed it with carpet, and actually I think it sounded really warm, very radio friendly.
There were also rumors that the 3rd floor was haunted. Those were the maid's chambers, as we were told.
Well, I had a sink in the office and leaded glass windows which looked out on the stable house in the back.
One colleague talking about having the window open one day, a warm spring or fall day, and a squirrel jumping through the window onto a turntable.
It was a great place, a great ambiance for a fine arts station.
It definitely had a charm to it.
About how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You're watching the Omaha News.
For any team to start its season with a 6-1-1 record is an impressive accomplishment. To do it with 11 freshmen on the team is even more impressive. Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor talked to one of those freshmen to find out what's going right.
A good play isn't a good play anymore. You got to be making great plays.
College sports have a high demand for success, and no one knows that better than a freshman. Joel Messner, who is playing his first year on UNO's hockey team, says that he is open to advice from veteran players and coaches.
Just trying to learn as much as possible from coaches, the seniors, and stuff like that. And it's been a lot of fun.
The Mavericks just finished a 3-week road stretch that has them improving their record to 6-1-1 with a recent sweep over Ohio State. While it's still early in the season, Messner says that playing at the collegiate level doesn't even come close in comparison to what he experienced in high school.
I've never really been a part of a team that's been, together so tight. There's no really groups or clans. Everybody just kind of hang out together, and it's, it's great for the team, and obviously it's showing on the ice right now.
Head coach Dean Blaze says that having 18 underclassmen on his 26-man roster is a little nerve-wracking, but every now and then they surprise him with how much they can do.
It's exciting. You never know what they're going to do day to day sometimes, but certainly talented, real good kids, and it doesn't surprise me that they're fitting in so well in a tough league that we're in.
Only time will tell how the Mavericks will do this season. For the Omaha News, I'm J.R. Cantor.
You can catch the Mavericks this weekend as a star conference play against the Bulldogs of Minnesota Duluth at the CenturyLink Center. The puck will drop at 7:37 p.m. Creighton's men's soccer will be returning to the NCAA tournament. The Blue Jays will welcome the winner of the first round between Denver and Oregon State. Creighton will play the victor on Sunday, November 23rd at 12:30 p.m. at Creighton's Morrison Stadium. The Blue Jays have made it to the quarterfinals in 6 of their last 11 appearances and made 5 NCAA College Cup appearances.
They've dominated basketball over the past decade, and they were national champions in 2011 and 2012. Who are they? Well, reporter Mike Lucas is in the newsroom with the answer and more. Mike?
That's right, Joy. This national championship winning club is doing its best to support kids. But when you discover who they are, you might be surprised.
I love doing it because I get to stay involved in something that I pretty much had my whole life.
John Meyer isn't your typical athlete.
I was born with club feet, which means my feet were turned in when I was born.
The defect, which affects about 1 in every 1,000 newborns, can be crippling throughout life, but that hasn't stopped Meyer.
I played wheelchair basketball for 7 or 8 years for the Nebraska Red Dogs.
At 19 years old, he is officially too old to play for the Red Dogs anymore. However, Meyer still comes back to lend a hand coaching the youngest of the Red Dogs, their prep team. One of Meyer's players on the prep team, Tamara, says she really loves basketball compared to some of the other sports she's tried.
I used to play soccer, but
I didn't really like that. It was holding for me. I can walk, but it's hard.
Tamara also told me that her favorite part of the league is that everyone is in a wheelchair, and head coach and founder Mike Colt says that's exactly why he started the Red Dogs.
If the kid is the only child in the school with a disability, or they don't always have the, that competitive outlet, or they don't have that confidence, they get around other kids who are just as confident as them or have similar disabilities, and they become confident. And the team is more important for that than anything else, because it allows the kids to become kids.
Mike Colt says the Nebraska Red Dogs have produced 4 national championship teams and 2 past Paralympians. Joy, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. For more information on the Nebraska Red Dogs and other wheelchair sports, you can visit enwaa.org. UNO's women's tennis team is setting the bar high, bringing its first ever international recruit. Kirby Bridges profiles Michelle Lowe and what she brings to the team.
Michelle's smart.
She doesn't sit on the baseline and blast forehands.
She doesn't play your typical game of tennis.
Her variety's her biggest weapon.
She's never going to give you the same ball twice.
It's why at just 18, Michelle Lowe's tennis career has taken her to tournaments throughout the world.
Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore.
The freshman from Hong Kong's international experience brings a new element to UNO's program.
Canada, US.
And Thailand, just to name a few.
Michelle's the first international student for the women's program. And, you know, she's not going to be the last, so she's paving the way right now.
Michelle's played all over the world, and she brings big goals to UNO's program. The variety in her tennis also reflects in her career aspirations.
When we take off and land, it's a different office every day.
After seeing the highest buildings in Hong Kong from a helicopter at age 7, Michelle decided she wanted to see more of the world from above.
It's just amazing that I could go around the world like what I did when I was 14 years old, traveling around the world to play tennis.
One day she'll travel the globe looking down at the clouds. But for now, her time in the Midwest is focused on her degree and elevating tennis at UNO.
I just hope that I could help the team to win in the NCAA tournament.
For the Omaha News, I'm Kirby Bridges.
Michelle is expected to play at the top of the lineup for the spring season. The season begins January 22nd. Coming up after the break, we talk with a local organization that is putting a playful spin on technology for special needs children.
Stay with us.
Something new.
Or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside.
There's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
Will it seem almost impossible or push the limit?
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Accommodating special needs children has been the focus of the Children's Respite Care Center in Omaha. Reporter Blake Higginbotham has a profile of the center.
The Children's Respite Care Center in Omaha serves children from birth to 21 years of age, and they've been doing so for 24 years. They work with special needs children of all diagnoses, medical and behavioral needs, and also offer nursing, educational, and behavioral health classes.
Although the organization is 24 years old, this building on 138th and Millard Avenue wasn't constructed until last April. The other location is on 88th and Blondo, and now both have therapy services.
We did one that was all just accessible toys. We did one that was gross motor focused, so lots of water play, adaptive bikes, and those types of things. We did a speech and language and communication event, so all sorts of activities related to that. And then this one is our sensory and OT.
Aaron Miller started making adapted toys for his son Evan, who has cerebral palsy. Since then, he's also offered classes for families to learn how to make the toys.
They get a kit that has all the tools and all the parts that they need to be able to adapt a toy, and then hopefully they can take those tools home and repeat that process just like I was doing in the beginning on toys that were laying around the house.
The United Cerebral Palsy Program has a toy lending library that allows families to check out toys for their special need children, and if they find that they fit their needs, they can then purchase them.
For the Omaha News, I'm Blake Higginbotham.
For more information about Children's Respite Care Center, visit crccomaha.org.
The Omaha Police will be taking part in a nationwide Click It or Ticket campaign. This campaign will start November 24th and last until November 30th. The goal of this campaign is to increase the awareness of the state's seatbelt and child restraint laws. Wearing a seatbelt is still the best way to reduce your chance of death or serious bodily injuries if involved in an auto accident. There was fear that the Keystone Pipeline would be vetoed once it reached the White House. But on Tuesday, the Senate voted on a bill to improve the Keystone Pipeline. The vote was close, with 59 in support of the bill and 41 who opposed it. The bill needed 60 votes to reach the White House. That does it for this edition of the Omaha News and for this season. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next semester with all new stories.
From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
Watch the Omaha News Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on the Knowledge Network.
What if there were a neighborhood where every child felt they belonged, and a big dog helped them stay little, a little longer? helped them find the wonder in every little thing. And a flightless bird showed them how to soar. Support the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?